Welcome to Instant Trivia, episode 1949. Ready? Let's go. What is the green variety of the mineral beryl called? Emerald. Which cheese, often called the King of Cheeses, was a popular delicacy at the Congress of Vienna in the early 19th century? Roquefort. Which Venetian Renaissance painter created the works Venus and Adonis and the Assumption of the Virgin? Titian. Which artist recorded the album Songs for Swingin' Lovers, the first ever number one on the UK albums chart in 1956? Frank Sinatra. In 1775, which American frontiersman led settlers through the Cumberland Gap into the Kentucky wilderness, helping open the region to westward expansion? Daniel Boone. Lester B. Pearson became Prime Minister of which country in April 1963? Canada. Which amusement ride made its debut at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago? The Ferris wheel. Which PJ Harvey album released before Is This Desire includes the hit Down by the Water? To Bring You My Love. In Charlotte Bronte's novel Jane Eyre, which character ultimately becomes Jane's husband despite a tumultuous relationship and hidden secrets? Edward Rochester. Which figure skating jump, named after an Austrian skater, is taken off from the back outside edge of one skate? Lutz. Which mainland city is closest to the island of Monte Cristo, made famous by Alexandre Dumas' novel The Count of Monte Cristo? Piombino. Which Jane Austen heroine, known for her matchmaking attempts, is the title character of a novel that explores social class and personal growth? Emma. Which general interest magazine was founded in 1922 by DeWitt Wallace and Lila Bell Wallace? Reader's Digest. Which historical figure, who once served as Lord Chancellor of England, is the central character in T.S. Eliot's play Murder in the Cathedral? Thomas Becket. Which Australian state capital lies on the River Torrens? Adelaide. In which present-day countries did the Hausa kingdoms flourish between the 14th and 19th centuries? Nigeria and Niger. Which actor, known for playing Llewyn Davis in the film Inside Llewyn Davis, has also starred in major franchises such as Star Wars and Dune? Oscar Isaac. Which country re-elected Antonio Oscar Carmona as president in February 1942? Answer: Portugal. Who directed the third and fourth Star Trek films, The Search for Spock and The Voyage Home? Leonard Nimoy. What is an object worn as a charm called? Amulet. In what kind of vehicle did Charles Rolls, co-founder of Rolls-Royce, die? An airplane, a Wright Model A biplane. What Coca-Cola packaging innovation was introduced in the U.S. domestic market in 1960? Canned Coca-Cola. What is the term for an intense fear of shellfish? Ostraconophobia. What Australian island is famously associated with the extinct carnivorous marsupial known as the thylacine, often referred to as the Tasmanian tiger? Tasmania. Who earned the nickname Lady of the Lamp for her work in nursing during the Crimean War? Answer: Florence Nightingale. Which famous play features a character who famously states, "I have always depended on the kindness of strangers"? A Streetcar Named Desire. Which prominent spiritual leader co-authored the book The Art of Happiness? The 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso. In Fight Club, what are the first and second rules? The first rule is, you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule is, you do not talk about Fight Club. Where did the Pilgrims sail to aboard the Mayflower? Answer: the New World, specifically to Plymouth in present-day Massachusetts. Which actor played Dr. Emmett Doc Brown in the Back to the Future films? Christopher Lloyd. Which GM brand, whose first cars went on sale in 1990, was notable for using dent-resistant plastic body panels? Saturn. Which Louisiana parish is named for the President of the Confederate States of America? Jefferson Davis Parish. What is the name of the movable curved top part of a padlock? Shackle. When Starbucks introduced the Trenta size, how many fluid ounces does it hold? 31 fluid ounces. Which artist is best known for his series of paintings of Mont Sainte-Victoire that depict the mountain with innovative brushwork and color? Paul Cézanne. Which digital currency debuted in 2009? Bitcoin. What title did the artist formerly known as Prince use for both a hit song and a movie? Purple Rain. Which Native American tribe's reservation spans parts of Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah? Navajo Nation. Which king, who ruled England, Denmark, Norway, and parts of Sweden, and died on November 12, 1035, is buried at Winchester Cathedral? Answer: also spelled Canute. When did the Laki eruption in Iceland, the massive 17-mile fissure eruption that devastated livestock and caused famine, take place? 1783 to 1784, June 1783 to February 1784. What is the capital of Nepal that lies at the foot of the Himalayas? Kathmandu. Which part of the body is gloss usually applied to for a sheen? Lips. Which spirit is the basis of a Tom Collins cocktail? Gin. Who was Chancellor of the Exchequer during the 1926 general strike? Winston Churchill. Which branch of Islam reveres Ali, the Prophet Muhammad's cousin, and holds that he was Muhammad's rightful successor? Shiite. How many federal states, Bundesländer, make up Germany? 16. Which chemical element, atomic number 69 on the periodic table, has the symbol Tm? Thulium. Which influential female writer, famous for her sharp wit, wrote scathing book and theater reviews that critiqued social norms in the early 20th century? Dorothy Parker. Which actor, best known for playing Basil Fawlty in Fawlty Towers, was also a member of Monty Python? John Cleese. How many stars appear on the national flag of New Zealand? 4. That's the end of the show. Thanks for playing. See you tomorrow.